Good evening, everyone. I'm Laura Ingraham. This is the Ingraham Angle from Washington tonight. Liberating us from decline. That's the focus of tonight's angle. The scene at the White House today was something to behold. You had steel workers, pipe fitters, auto workers, and mechanics, the people who make American industry run. They were gathered in the Rose Garden to watch President Trump announce and sign his executive order that aims to make trade fair again. And we were there to watch it all unfold.
My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day, waiting for a long time. April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again.
And President Trump announced reciprocal tariffs on virtually every major exporting country in the world, calculated by adding the foreign nation's tariffs plus the value of any trade barriers that they have in place. Kind of ingenious. And then, in turn, we charge them half of that amount.
This is one of the most important days, in my opinion, in American history. It's our declaration of economic independence. For years, hardworking American citizens were forced to sit on the sidelines as other nations got rich and powerful, much of it at our expense. But now it's our turn to prosper, and in so doing, use trillions and trillions of dollars to reduce our taxes and pay down our national debt.
He also addressed what I call the myth perceptions about tariffs peddled by his critics. Now, how many times have you heard that a tariff is a tax? But of course, that's facile thinking. Even if foreign manufacturers try to pass on some of their price hikes to consumers, you got to consider the broader picture.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country, and you see it happening already. We will supercharge our domestic industrial base. We will pry open foreign markets and break down foreign trade barriers. And ultimately, more production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers. This will be indeed the golden age of America.
And I have to give a great shout out to my great friend Pat Buchanan, who back in, decades ago, but also recently in 2019, put it best. He said a tariff is a tax, but its purpose is not just to raise revenue, but to make a nation economically independent of others and to bring its citizens to rely upon each other rather than on foreign entities. Again, the word independent is really key. Now, when I was a little kid, almost nothing we bought, from toys to TVs, were made outside the United States. I still have my Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls. Believe it or not, I'm going to give them to my kids someday. They were all made in the USA. And even clothes. My class spirit shirt from college, made in the USA. But then globalization meant that we made fewer things, lost millions of jobs, all so we could buy more of everything, from electronics to pet products, at a lower per-piece cost. And if we learn nothing else from the COVID nightmare, it should be that we need to reshore the manufacturing of our critical supply chain. The President talked about this today: PPE, antibiotics, other pharmaceuticals, many of them made in China. Now, another myth that Trump is starting, that Trump is like starting a big trade war. Well, the truth is we've been in the midst of a trade war for almost 50 years now and losing it badly. The trade deficits speak for themselves.
81% of the cars in South Korea are made in South Korea. 94% of the cars in Japan are made in Japan. Toyota sells 1 million foreign-made automobiles into the United States, and General Motors sells almost none. Ford sells very little. None of our companies are allowed to go into other countries. Such horrendous imbalances have devastated our industrial base and put our national security at risk.
You bet it has. A lot of Americans don't even know those facts. It was very educational to listen to the president today. And for all the tough talk on the global scene, key countries are already beginning to see the light.
Let's sit down and discuss this, because it's just going to hurt American jobs.
Do you think it's fair that you have tariffs on a whole number of products?
That's right. And we'd be willing to take those off tomorrow if he took all the tariffs off.
Does President Trump know that you'd be prepared to do that?
He knows, and Secretary Lutnick knows that we're willing to take these tariffs off like in the next minute if he said he's taking their tariffs off.
Okay, we're waiting. Now, the bottom line is any economic hit we collectively take is temporary and should not be seen in isolation.
Apple is going to spend $500 billion. NVIDIA, a hot company, is investing hundreds of billions of dollars. Johnson & Johnson, great company, $55 billion. Eli Lilly, $27 billion. Meta, CMA, CGM, $20 billion. General Motors, GE Aerospace, Honda, Nissan, Hyundai are all putting in billions and billions of dollars.
Now, one of my favorite moments of the day came early on when Trump brought up one of the UAW workers to speak.
I have watched my entire life, I have watched plant after plant after plant in Detroit and in the Metro Detroit area close. There are now plants sitting idle. There are now plants that are underutilized. And Donald Trump's policies are going to bring product back into those underutilized plants. There's going to be new investment. There's going to be new plants built. In 6 months or a year, we're going to begin to see the benefits. I can't wait to see what's happening 3 or 4 years down the road. Thank you, Mr. President.
Now, that was just a beautiful moment. The World Trade Organization was founded in 1995, 30 years ago. We allowed China to join the WTO in 2000. So the free traders, purists, have had their way for most of that time. And we know how it worked out. 5 million manufacturing jobs lost as the outsourcers and the foreign companies got rich. Trump said this today. Look, I campaigned on this. The entire 2024 campaign, he told the voters that this is what he was planning to do, to make America great again by ending the great foreign ripoff of America. And now he deserves a chance to implement this program and demonstrate to the voters that it can work. So Republicans, and I know you're watching, don't even think about blocking this on Capitol Hill. And the courts, they should not be enjoining this either. Let's see how the markets settle out over the next 6 months. Let's see how other countries and their major companies react. 5 American presidents helped dig us into this trade deficit hole that we currently find ourselves in, and only one, Donald Trump, had the guts to try to dig us out. And that's the angle.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.